Stuttgart in Germany and the 49th World Championships of Artistic Gymnastics, and this is a very big session indeed about to take place. It's the final session of qualification in women's artistic gymnastics. Subdivision 12 out of 12. We are almost at the end, but a lot of stories are still to be written in this wonderful competition. 2 packed days of artistic gymnastics about to come to a close before the women have the opportunity to get their head into the team all-around and apparatus finals. We have a couple of days of men's qualification tomorrow and the day after. What will we know, therefore, at the end of this session? We will know who has qualified for the team final. We will know the teams that are destined to head to the Olympic Games in Tokyo next year. And we will also know the destination of the all-around places, not just here, but at those Olympics. What we know so far is that the People's Republic of China are the pace setters in qualification for this team event. The only problem is that there are some massive teams still to come. One of them is about to enter the field of play right now, and when they turn up for team competitions, they tend to win stuff, and they win it well. Ollie Hogben here, joined by Dr. Lisa Gannon, and the team making their way onto the field of play now needs no introduction, but we'll do it anyway just because it's fun. And what a way to begin. Simone Biles, the 22-year-old from Columbus, Ohio, going for her 5th all-around title and her 20th world medal, joined by Kara Aker, the incredibly exciting young 16-year-old gymnast. In terms of exciting 16-year-old, Sunisa Lee is another. The incredibly reliable Grace McCallum and Jade Carey. It is a quite superb team. The United States of America. Michaela Skinner, the alternate gymnast for the United States of America as well.
Yeah, she's the reserve, travelling, gaining experience.
We'll have 3 gymnasts from Finland competing. Maija Leinonen, Niita Nieminen, the 16-year-old, the youngest of them. Leinonen is 23, and Rosanna Ojala is a 24-year-old gymnast. She's the reigning Finnish uneven bars champion. So those 3 gymnasts are going for individual qualification. They will not be part of the team competition. And much the same for the gymnast from New Zealand. Isabella Brett and Maya Fishwick and Courtney McGregor. Tan Sien from Singapore. Tan Sien won the all-around at last year's Singapore Championships. She's made a commitment to study at Stanford University in the United States of America. The other team that will be competing here is another spectacular team. Jade Barbosa leading the Brazilian team out. Leticia Costa. Thais Fidelis, the 18-year-old from Ribeirão Preto in São Paulo, the reigning Brazilian all-around champion. Florani Oliveira, gymnast from São Paulo as well. Flavia Saraiva, gymnast from Rio de Janeiro. Those are the 5 gymnasts who will be competing for Brazil. Well, Lisa, nothing much really is going to happen here, is it?
Well, the scene is set, isn't it, for an exciting climax to this women's qualification competition. As you say, 12 subdivisions, 2 long days. It's a random draw, but what a way to finish with the world champions, the United States of America, and the extraordinary Simone Biles who leads them.
Well, let's have a look at exactly what's coming up. There is the Brazilian group of gymnasts, the team of 5. Maya Fishwick and Courtney McGregor from New Zealand. We did see Isabella Brett there for New Zealand. Now, my understanding is that Isabella Brett has had an injury, and that's why she's not appearing on the start list there. She's come out with her teammates, but it will be interesting to see doesn't look as though she's competing. We did hear that she unfortunately injured herself in the training process, but we'll try and bring you confirmation on that in due course. The United States of America begin on floor. Simone Biles will be last to go. Can't think of anything notable about that at all in any way.
Well, yeah, she's warming up, isn't she? And will she put in the new skills? She has so many already to her name, but all the talk has been around her doing the triple twisting double back somersault as her first pass. The second pass is her own as well, the double straight with half twist. So there's so many skills she now has in her armoury. So excited to watch, and there is no other gymnast quite like her.
The problem is that it's where to begin in talking about what record might go next, because there's a possibility here of her becoming the most decorated World Championship medalist of all time.
That's right. Vitaly Sherbo has 23 world medals. She already has, I think, 19, so she could surpass that at these championships. She is a runner for the team, the all-around and all the apparatus. Such is her strength. But that's not to forget, of course, she has other very strong team members.
Well, absolutely. Cara Aker delivers work on the balance beam that is quite a joy to behold. And what Simone Biles said recently was that she doesn't go into competitions thinking to herself, right, I'm going to go out there and win this one. And actually, what you see with all great gymnasts across the world, all great athletes, is they start a competition believing they've got it all to prove again, don't they?
Yes, she really does seem to thoroughly enjoy her gymnastics. She's got nothing to prove, she's already done it, but she is very special. Not just technically, she has the acrobatic elements, she has the charisma, she has the temperament to perform when it matters, but she also, there she goes, that's it! She's done it in podium training.
Well, you can just switch off now, can't you, and go out for a walk. There we go.
Everybody here can say, we were there, we saw it. There aren't many men. Look, even the replay, and this is in the warm-up. 3 twists. Even when you look at it in slow motion, there's so much going on. Quite incredible.
I was about to say, just close your eyes, everyone. Don't spoil the surprise. So there we go.
Oh, goodness me.
The United States will get us underway on the floor exercise, and this is all about qualification for very many things indeed. Team competition all around, individual apparatus, Olympic Games, you name it, you can qualify for it. It's big, and the USA are expected, with her especially, to lead the way in that process. It is time to begin. Take your seats, folks. Hope you're looking forward to this. It's going to be a fabulous session of competition here at the World Championships.
Yes, hold on to your seats. You're in for a ride now, I'm sure. And the focus is on this young lady.
On floor exercise.
Grace McCallum to get things underway for the United States of America. Young gymnast, just 16, trusted as a leading gymnast, trusted to get things underway and be a deliverer.
And immediately she's chosen the music. It gets the audience clapping along with her, and a double-double. Super start from the 16-year-old. Straight front, immediate, double twisting front, toes right on the edge there of the line. It's power of the gold medal winning team last year. They've already earned a ticket to Tokyo. Triple spin. Every move coordinated to the music. This time the full twisting double. Final double tuck, accurate, precise work, and a super start for the United States of America.
That is why Grace McCallum is trusted to lead the team. That's why they pick her to go first, because she produces work of remarkable quality.
Well, there were no signs of any nerves there, were there?
None whatsoever. Third in the all-around at the United States National Championships this year. And that is I mean, just look at the gymnast. She's standing around to get to third position in that national championship competition.
Yeah, it's been a selection in itself just to pick the team for the United States of America, such as their strength in depth. Here we're having a look at the replay. That was that first tumble pass. 2 somersaults, 2 twists, incredibly difficult work. And here, you can see she's focused. Pulling in tight. And 2 somersaults, just 1 twist that time. She has the difficulty. And great performance, interpreting the music. A choice of accompaniment music for her. Extended in the dance elements. And brings her first routine to a close. Very successfully indeed.
Now Brazil are competing on the vault. And there, the first vault delivered by Thais Fidelis.
Yes, the full twisting Yurchenko from the 18-year-old. Made the all-around final in the World Championships last year and placed 4th on floor, just out of the medals. Here, power off the top of the vault, legs locked together, nice form in the air. Just a little bounce back. A good start from her. The judges looking for the straight shape, they're looking for flight, they're looking for a central line.
Now, before this score of 13.633 for Fidelis, Jadji Barbosa scored 14.133, so we'll keep an eye on those scores.
Yes, they could be really crucial in these final results.
What about the score for Grace McCallum? Well, she won the team gold on her 16th birthday in Doha last year. I mean, as 16th birthdays go, that's pretty good, isn't it?
Nice way to celebrate.
Absolutely. Just the hint of a smile there, perhaps, for Grace McCallum as she waits for this score to come in. But a really fine start, that, for the United States of America. The strongest score that we've seen so far in floor qualification. Angelina Melnikova's 14.1, the only 14-plus score we've seen in floor qualification.
Yeah, that's a good marker to know where these gymnasts are going to be standing, because there will be some challenges, I'm sure. Giving you a wave. Nice shots. It's nice to see them in a relaxed environment when they finish and they're just having to wait with their teammates.
Didn't think we described this as a relaxed environment.
Well.
13.766 for McCallum, 5th strongest floor score that we've seen so far. Execution of 8.166 for her.
Big thumbs up. Relaxed, I mean at the end of the routine as opposed to before it. Just to quantify that.
The United States continue their campaign for qualification for this team final. Sunisa Lee, the 16-year-old from St. Paul in Minnesota, a first-year senior who was 2nd at the US Championships this year in the all-around behind Simone Biles. Really incredible display.
Yeah, a real talent. She won gold on bars in those championships and a bronze on the floor, and another double-double. She's a super talent for the United States of America. Very stylish competitor. Lifts high into the double straight. Beautiful control. The triple, then the double. Both counted towards the difficulty. Nice carriage of the upper body. Shoulders back in her movements. Twisting combination. the super double tuck to finish. Well, Sunisa Lee just making her mark on these World Championships for the first time.
There is quality everywhere you look in the US team. The crop of gymnasts coming through, most impressive indeed. And Sunisa Lee has... It's one thing to emerge as a gymnast and to suddenly surprise people, but then you've got to keep doing it, haven't you, over an extended period?
Yes, definitely. She may not have competed at a World Championships before, but through the selection process, she has come to be known well already. Such are the United States in terms of their talent. And she didn't disappoint here, did she? Lifting high up into the double straight. Such a difficult skill to perform in that straight position. You're rotating slowly, and here she performed two of these spins. First the triple, second double, clearly marked, clear in the rotation. Sometimes you're never quite sure, is it a 2.5, have they got themselves round? But there was no problem with that, and the double tuck to finish.
This the second opportunity we've had to see some vaulting from Brazil. Jade Barbosa. This was a vault that was extremely strong indeed. She scored 14.133 for this display, but looks to be in some discomfort after it.
Yeah, she went for the double twist in Yurchenko. Difficult vault, but she's clearly in some pain there and getting assistance from the coach. 28-year-old, her first Worlds were in Stuttgart in 2007.
14.2 for Sunisa Lee. That's the strongest score that we've seen so far on the floor exercise. Brilliant first routine for her at the World Championships.
Yes, going ahead of Melnikova with that routine.
The United States now represented by Jade Carey, the 19-year-old from Arizona who was a silver medalist in Montreal on the floor exercise. She's performed very well in the World Cup series as well on the floor.
Yes, very powerful tumbler. And there she demonstrates it. Well, double twist in the double somersault, but this time in the straight position. We've seen it in the tuck, but not in the straight so far. What can she offer now? And the same skill with a single twist. It makes it look so easy. Well, a foot out on the double, this time in the tuck position. You can do the same skill if it's a different shape. The most difficult tumbling we've seen so far.
Some very strong numbers about to come here.
Yes, well, she put it all into the tumbling, didn't she? Such a powerful... We saw her take that silver medal at the Montreal World Championships, where she also took a silver on the vault, so we know she's dynamic, and she proved it there.
And yes, penalties for stepping out of bounds, but she's got the kind of difficulty cushion in her routine that can make light of those when it comes to team qualification.
Yes, definitely. It'll be a 10th for the foot out, but if you think as the skills get more difficult, those 10ths are added, so yes, shouldn't be too problematic for her. That was that incredible double twisting, double straight. Just on the edge there. I'll be interested to see what the judges make of that. Here, the single twisting double straight. Accelerating across the floor, building that momentum through the round off in the back flip, really lifting off. And this is the final pass, the front walkout into the double tuck. Makes it look very easy. This is really her speciality.
performance of exceptional quality from Jade Carey. She'll also be competing on the vault. Now, Jadji Barbosa, 10th at the moment in the all-around process. That was the 14.133 that she scored for the vault. But of more interest to us will be just what sort of discomfort she's in. Now, Flavia Saraiva of Brazil, now to vault.
And the double twist to Yurchenko from the 20-year-old, so popular. She placed 8th all around in Doha, 5th on floor. She's a tiny gymnast, but she really does pack a punch. Look at the power generated here from the board. It's off the top, wraps into the twist. Very exciting to watch on floor. We'll see her on that later on, but a good vault to start her competition.
From an execution standpoint, there is little to take issue with. Very little, 9.166. It's a 14.566 for Saraiva. That's the strongest Brazilian vaulting mark. Now, Jade Carey, 14.2, and there were 2 steps out there, so that one that was on the edge did get given.
Yes, so there's 2 tenths in each of the corners there.
Now then, to a gymnast who has a bit of a habit of making history. She has a habit of doing things that other people have never done before. 4 times an Olympic gold medalist, 14 times a world champion. What of this opening tumbling pass? If you've got anything that's breakable on the coffee table, move it out of the way now.
Here she goes. And there it is. She's done it. The triple twisting double. A 1 foot out, but nobody cares. And here's the other bails in the double straight half turn out. Quite spectacular. Look at that smile. Nobody smiles like Simone Biles. Lovely touch. Off she goes again. Full twisty front walk out, into the flying back out. She almost had a chance to glance at her teammates there. Look at the bounce and the leaps. And a double to finish. Quite incredible. Oh, what a remarkable performance that was from Simone Biles.
So much attention on that opening tumbling pass. We almost forgot there was a whole other floor routine to come after it. And what a floor routine it was.
Her talent never ends. She finishes with the sort of skill that most gymnasts would dream of opening with. This is what they've all been waiting for. The roar went up when she was introduced.
Even the German team watching on thinking, yeah, you know what, they can roar louder for that than they did for us, that's absolutely fine. Well, let's have another look at it again. Let's enjoy it again and again and again. A history-making moment. This goes into the code of points under her name once more.
Yeah, that's the Biles. 3 twists, 2 rotations, incredibly difficult. There are very, very few men in the world that can perform this, that have the power to do it. She makes it look so easy. She's bouncing out of it. And it's testament to her that so many of the gymnasts, when they talk about their idols and their heroes, list her as being the gymnast that they look up to.
We saw over her shoulder she was performing those wolf turns. The balance beam, and to come later we have the possibility of another brand new skill being added to the code of points under her name. It's just one brilliant, extraordinary thing after t'other.
She has such explosive power, but she's able to control it. She really does seem to have this sense of where she is in the air, which surpasses any of the other gymnasts. And once in a lifetime this sort of talent comes along. There are some superb gymnasts here. It's not to take anything away from them. And of course we're focusing on the team event, but there is something very special about Simone Biles.
And as you say, the team event we're focusing on alongside her, she's got gymnasts who have made things as easy as possible for her by producing work of the very highest quality beforehand. So everywhere you look across the American team, it's a treat. That's a treat. 14.833. Do you know what? Let's not be too bothered about the 0.2 penalty, shall we? Because that's overwhelmingly the strongest score we've seen on the floor exercise at these championships. It's one of the very highest scores we've seen, full stop. So and the USA are underway.
Yes, and interestingly there, she sort of looked, oh, and one of the gymnasts said it was 2:10, so she's like, oh, OK. I would have wanted a 15.
Leticia Costa, the 24-year-old from Rio. She's 5 times been a South American champion. Unfortunately missed the Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro.
Oh, and a beautiful full twisting Yurchenko. More simple than some of her teammates, but very well performed. Lovely shape in the air, perfect straight line. Very good start from the 24-year-old. Yes, she will be having her eyes set on Tokyo, having missed out on Rio last time round.
Yeah, she put it rather wonderfully. She said, happiness does not enter closed doors, open them up yourself.
Yeah, nice way of saying it.
13.633 is the score for Costa. Well, it's been quite fun so far, hasn't it? What a great start to this subdivision, and wherever in the world you're watching the action from, it's wonderful to have your company enjoying the sport of artistic gymnastics. Absolutely glorious atmosphere here in the arena. And we're going to have a look at some work on the uneven bars. This is the gymnast from Singapore, Tan Sien, who actually lives in Illinois. She's committed to attend undergraduate study at Stanford University, and she's Singapore's reigning all-around champion.
Yes, and she started well. Trains at Legacy Elite Gymnastics. And there the turn up into blind, into the straddle Jaeger. Making the turn so she can perform the backward giants into the dismount, the double tuck, nicely landed, and a good, clean routine to get her World Championships underway. Taking a look back in slow motion there. Transition from the low to the high bar, the pack salto back down. They have to make these transitions as part of the special requirements of the apparatus. They have to perform different element groups as well. And of course, the all-important dismount. And in this case, it was the double tuck back somersault.
Gymnast who's been so very desperate to make her World Championship debut, and it's finally happened. 11.766 is the opening score for Tan Sien of Singapore. And she's the only gymnast from Singapore competing in this competition, so she travels around with another group of gymnasts. We have gymnasts from Finland and New Zealand also out there on the competition floor. But the mixed groups do a rather good job of supporting each other. We have a new leader after the first rotation in the women's all-around competition. It is, unsurprisingly, Simone Biles, courtesy of that 14.833 on floor. Elizabeth Sight started with a brilliant score of 14.8 on the uneven bars. Sunisa Lee is in joint 9th position at the moment, but now probably, Lisa, is a good time for us to explain, those of you who've just started watching the coverage, that we can't extrapolate too much at this stage.
Yes, that's right. There's lots at stake, and it's sort of where to start, really. In terms of the World Championships, first and foremost, the top 8 teams will qualify for the team final. So everybody's eyes will be glued in that final rotation to see if they've made the top 8 teams. The top 24 gymnasts, only 2 per nation, though, are permitted, will go through to the all-around final. And then on each of the apparatus, there are medals up for grabs in the apparatus finals. Again, the top 8 gymnasts going through, only 2 per nation.
But you already knew that, didn't you, listening and watching at home? I'm sure you did. If you didn't, don't worry, we'll forgive you and we'll try to make sense of it as we go through. Now, the USA are going to be taking to the vault next, and what we'll do after this second rotation is give you a sense of the standings in the team competition. It's meaningful at the halfway stage to really have a look at that, but the USA certainly have started very impressively when you think they were able to discard a 13.766 score on the floor.
Yes, quite incredible, really. And maybe for the other teams to add insult to injury, they are very strong on the vault as well, maybe one of the highest scoring apparatus across the arena. The gymnasts moving in Olympic rotation order from vault to uneven bars to beam, and beam to floor. So here we see our competitors warming up. Again, just a reminder, if you're joining us, that the first score on vault always goes towards the team total in the all-around competition. There will be 2 gymnasts from the United States of America who will perform 2 vaults. That will be Jade Kerry and Simone Biles, hoping to make the vault final.
So let's take a moment just to have a look at the vault standings. 14.816, Alexa Moreno of Mexico leading the way. It's Ellie Downey of Great Britain in second place on 14.783, and Yoseo Jong of the Republic of Korea, 14.766. She's got some wonderful technique to her vaulting, got a 9.2 execution for her second vault. The mark that is in 8th place at the moment is Ellie Black, that's 14.25, but that might well be a touch vulnerable now with the gymnasts from the USA that are about to compete at the vaulting table.
And there you see the first gymnast waiting to perform. You see on the side there the vault number and the difficulty value indicated prior to the performance, so the judges know what she's going to be performing.
Which doesn't mean, of course, they have to give credit for it if something doesn't quite go according to plan.
No, that's right. Sometimes it might not happen, but she's indicated she'll be doing the double twisting Yurchenko, which has a 5.4 difficulty value attached to it.
So we will continue our coverage of the United States of America, and we'll endeavour to bring you a little update on Brazil as well. It is Sunisa Lee who is first to vault for the USA. She scored 14.2 on the floor, a great start.
Yes, and she's followed that great start on the floor with another strong performance on the vault. Not much wrong with that, really, was there? It was tight in the air. Turns completed securely. Let's have a look. A turn onto the board with the round off, pushing off the top. Feet locked together. Pretty central in the landing. Not much wrong with that.
Yes, those of you who are new to watching vaulting in artistic gymnastics, that set of tram lines in the middle, the train tracks, gymnasts getting close to that centre line will result in few execution deductions, and she was absolutely plumb on the line.
She was. Yes, she was. They accelerate in a run-up that lasts about 25 metres and pushes off the top, and the score she's rewarded with is 14.566.
That is quite a start. Now, from an all-around perspective, Sunisa Lee is in second position, and what's going to be really interesting is the battle among these US gymnasts. It is Biles, Lee and McCallum who are going in the all-around qualification process. One of them will miss out because of the Noah's Ark rule, where only 2 can go through. It's Grace McCallum.
Yes, and the same vault from her. And again, another strong performance. They keep producing the goods, don't they? The United States of America. Yes, a massive asset to be in the team, because you know you're in a very strong team with a good chance of a medal, but there's a compromise there of knowing you have one, you have to be selected, and 2, only 2 can go through. So all of them really putting in their best opportunities to perform here. There, the 2 twists, and again, pretty central. Not much between them, to be honest, the same vault. And this competition, I'm sure, will come down to, if not tenths, hundreds or even thousandths of points.
And if it sounds as though Dr. Lisa Gannon is being a little bit hyperbolic there, she's not. We genuinely have had points in the competition where there's been a thousandth between 2 teams.
Yes.
It really has been that close. Grace McCallum scores 14.566. That's exactly the same score of Sunisa Lee, so we'll give you that one, Lisa. Well read. Well read. There wasn't much between them at all.
And I think we'll see that around the competition floor. It will be interesting to see if we can split them at all.
Well, well, well. Great drama here at the start of this session. So many stories waiting to be told and to tell themselves, but we must also bear in mind we've got individual gymnasts moving around here from Finland, New Zealand and Singapore, who are also charting their own determined quest to get to the Olympic Games, to get into a World Championship final, and whatever their own personal aspirations are. Here is a gymnast who has been well-travelled indeed across the course of this year, competing at a number of World Cup events. Vault and floor specialist. Jade Carey will vault twice, the 19-year-old from Phoenix. really was her vaulting that first got her noticed by the national selectors.
Yes, it was. It was. And look, she's indicated there that she'll be doing a difficulty value with a 6.0 sort of tariff as such attached to it. Highest we've seen so far from any of the American performers. Very nice performance from her. Round up onto the board, and there's a half turn between the board and the vaulting platform before she goes into the somersault. Take a look at this. A lot happens in a short time. Round off. Here's the half turn on. Plants hands, lifts up into the 1.5 twist. That's a 6 tariff. Lots going on, lots of difficulty. Lands very square in the middle of the mat, and that's a good job from Jade Carey with her first vault. And she will be expecting to be rewarded accordingly. Lots of control. As Ollie said, she's been on the World Cup scene, winning medals on both vault and floor.
And just made so light of a 6 difficulty vault, didn't she?
Yeah, she has so much power. She makes it look very easy indeed.
This is surely going to be a very big score indeed. It's got to be pushing the 15 mark for Jade Carey. Oh, yes. It is, 15.3, a 9-3 execution. Yes. The judges found virtually nothing to remove there. That's certainly the single strongest vault we've had in these championships. So what can she follow it up with? It's going to be a 5.8 difficulty, I believe, for this second vault. And if it is, and she's still got massive, massive tariff.
Oh, and it's the Amanar. She's put in the extra twist. We've seen singles, we've seen doubles. That's the first 2.5 that we've seen. And that's what raises the tariff to a 5.8. Very difficult vault. And both well performed even. There, pushes off, wraps into the twist, 2.5 rotations before she lands, just a step forward. Jade Carey's on fire on vault, and her competition for the day is over now. She's completed floor and vault. She can sit and relax, and I'm sure she will have earned herself a place in the vault final with that.
The distance that she got away from the table, the push away, the strength.
Yeah, she makes it look effortless, doesn't she?
There's no Amanar in her Amanar. Absolutely, it is performed with extraordinary confidence. So a 15.3 added to a 15.1. Well, you can work out the average there yourself, I'm sure. 15.2, we have a new top qualifier in the vault. She's lived up to expectations.
She certainly has. And can anyone surpass her? Well, this gymnast may be able to. Again, she has her very own skill on this apparatus. We'll have to wait and see whether she's going to do it.
Sense of expectation is a jolly fun thing when you're watching sport. What we have seen before from Jade Carey just ups the ante a little bit. It raises the stakes for all gymnasts, because every time somebody moves into a leading position, the number 8 in the individual apparatus qualification becomes a little bit stronger a score.
It does. Well, as we saw her first vault, where she scored that 15.3, huge score for her. Round up onto the board, half turn on, push off 1.5 twist. Simone Biles can do that with a double twist. That is her own vault, and it'll be interesting to see whether she does that here, and if she does, whether she does it as her first or a second vault. Of course, the United States of America want to qualify for the team finals. They already have 3 very strong scores on vault, and they have the luxury of being able to drop one.
Well, she's going for a difficulty of 6 with this first vault.
Yeah, so in some respects, playing it safe.
That says it all, really, doesn't it? Yes, let's play it safe with a 6 difficulty score. Gosh, the vaulting from the USA. Simone Biles of the United States of America with her first vault. She will attempt to. This is the one for the team competition.
Oh, what flight. Well, she stepped a little bit to the side there just because she had so much thrust off the top. She could easily have put an extra half turn in. She went for the same vault as Jade Carey. Let's have a look again. The round off, here's the half turn on. So she's travelling forwards, and with that front somersault, the Rudy, a 1.5 twist. And she just had a little bit of extra spring off to the side there. But look at the distance that she's travelling. Immense amount of thrust off the top of the vault. And tight, straight in the somersault. Super work from Biles. Clean, wrapping into the twist. And other than that, little drift on landing. Not much to take. The score 15.066. That penalty of 0.3 for the landing. So
leading the way in the all-around competition, Simone Biles now undertakes her second vault. It's Jade Carey with that 15.2 who has set the mark, and it looks as though we're going to see from Biles a 5.8 difficulty.
You could see as she lifted off the top of the vault how high it was going to be. Again, the same 2 vaults as Jade Carey, the Amanal, the 2.5 twist, but she has so much airtime.
If she's
comes
going
down with snow on it.
She's going to compete in the all-around final. She ought to at least remain in the building. That was a remarkable distance away from the table, and you, I'm sure, heard the gasp from the crowd as she took off there.
I know. In relation to her own height, it's all relative, isn't it? The lift off the top, she pops off into the 2.5 twist, and she makes it look so easy. Look at this. It doesn't matter how many times you look at it, you're still astonished by the lift off the top of the vault. This time more central, just the step to control at the end. Tremendous difficulty, 5.8.
It's going to be very close indeed, isn't it? Oh, it is very close.
15.333 for the second vault, a 15.199. Second by 1,000th there from Jade Carey on the vault.
Well, we thought it might be a fascinating battle between them, and we were right. Jade Carey leading the way, 15.2 to 15.199 over Simone Biles. We have used the mantra that every single 1,000th of a mark can count. There is the proof of it. The uneven bars, Florani Oliveira of Brazil. Gymnast who has taken the uneven bars honours, top honours at the Brazilian Championships on 3 occasions. Last 3, in fact. She's got a very good record here.
Yes, a nice line in the handstands. Swinging well. Beautiful transition, feet locked together. Super work so far. And that was nice as well. Extension through the shoulders, high in the release. Building up into the forward rotating double front and absolutely spots the dismount.
Well, just to give you a bit of an update on the Brazilian team, Letícia Costa performed on the uneven bars, which she was not due to perform on, and scored an 11.3. Jade Barbosa was due to do the bars, so that maybe gives us an indication as to Barbosa's involvement in the rest of the competition. So we'll just keep a further eye on that, but they did use the reserve on the bars. This was the routine they really needed. Oliveira is due to only compete on the uneven bars, may well be called into further action, we'll have to see.
Yes, and she did a good job, didn't she? And a shame for Jade Barbosa there, and hopefully it's nothing too serious. We wish her well, but in the meantime we focus on this performance. Look at that, the feet locked together, beautiful form, and it's not a surprise that they've called her in to perform on this apparatus. Strong gymnast on the uneven bars. And here she builds into the dismount. Look at that extension in the shoulders. Beautiful. 2 rotations and not a waver on the landing. Avoiding any execution errors there. And greeted by the coach, who is clearly very pleased with that performance.
Score of great importance this might well turn out to be for the Brazilian gymnasts, because they've had some difficulties on the uneven bars. Thais Fidelis 12.733 and Flavia Saraiva 12.833, so that's the tonic. 13.633 for Florani Oliveira.
Yes, much better in keeping them in contention. As we said, they were 7th last year, and they will be wanting to make those vital top 8 places.
This is a look back at the routine of Flavia Saraiva.
Yes, and she may be one to watch for the all-around as well. Big catch-up to start the routine into the pack salto. It's a small gymnast, a long distance to travel between the bars. She really does have to fly to re-grasp on those transfers. Working well. And toe on into the full pirouette. Building the difficulty. And the same dismount, knees tight together in the double front. And a good job from her. She keeps herself in line for a chance at the all-around competition.
Yeah, she performed very well at the Pan American Games in the all-around Lima 2019. She was the bronze medalist there and took the uneven bars silver medal in her home city of Rio at the National Championships not so long ago. So certainly a competitor that can be regarded very favourably in terms of all-around qualification. It's 12.833, which has her in 14th place in the all-around at the moment. And we'll give you some standings in that and the team competition in hopefully just a matter of seconds' time. But it has been splendid entertainment so far here in Stuttgart. I hope you agree. This is how it's looking at the moment. It's Simone Biles leading the way with Tang Xijing in second place, Sunisa Lee in third place, Li Shijia in fourth, and Melanie de Jesus dos Santos, who was the leader coming into this day, at the end of play, she's in fifth position. We look down the order at Flavia Saraiva, who's 14th, gymnast who's featuring in this rotation. Angelina Melnikova will go higher up that order because she was a very strong performer overall in the all-around. 24th position, Marina Nekrasova, though it's likely to be that a little bit lower than that will get you into the all-round competition because of the 2 per country limit. So these are the gymnasts who've got a little bit of work to do moving through the competition. Thais Fidelis is part of this subdivision of gymnasts. Julia Steingruber down in 30th. That's before she vaulted. She does move quite far up and ended up in 15th place before this subdivision began. Look there at, by the looks of things, Jadzi Barbosa.
Yes, I think that curtails her competition. I'm sure she will continue to support her teammates as the experienced member, but it looks like her World Championships is certainly over for today.
And it's very sad indeed, because she is a gymnast who won the all-around bronze medal in Stuttgart 12 years ago. The memory she has of this place 12 years ago, very different to, unfortunately, the memory she has for the time being. Now, let us just look at the team competition for a moment. The United States of America are the leaders at the halfway mark with 88.165. Then it's the People's Republic of China, who are just over a mark behind them. France are around about 3 marks away from the People's Republic of China in third position. Then we've got a little bit of a gap down to Italy and Great Britain. Brazil currently in 6th place, and they are just a single 10th ahead of Japan, who had a very interesting and rather stressful day indeed. So that's what we know so far. We've got a lot more still to learn.
Yes, Italy were behind Great Britain. We know Great Britain are in a position where they will make the team final because they were 6. There are 2 spots left. Obviously, United States of America and Brazil will want to take those 2 spots. Italy will be waiting with bated breath to see if they can sneak into that team final. We'll see. And interesting that Simone Biles, after just 2 apparatus, is a whole mark ahead of the closest next competitor.
Let's see how that gap grows. Or indeed narrows. You just never know what will happen in the second half of a gymnastics competition.
Yes, and in this rotation, this is Finland. They will be performing on the vault, trying to make it through to the individual finals, all around or apparatus.
Rosanna Oyala is the gymnast from Hamenkura, who studies at Tampere University. She's participated in the World University Games before. She actually spent a large part of last year living and training in Sweden to try to develop herself personally and athletically, just to get out of her comfort zone, be challenged by different coaching methodologies. She went to a place called Eskilstuna.
Yes. And also competed as a national pole vaulter. She did athletics as well as gymnastics for a while, using those acrobatic elements there, but she's obviously decided on the gymnastics, and we're very pleased she did.
Rosanna Oyala to vault for Finland.
Oh, well, she went for the handspring pike front somersault, and you have to look for that landing without really seeing the floor, and she just opened out just a tad too early and just under-rotated and sat down on the landing, which was a shame. Here, the heels drive up, pulls into the pike position, looks for the landing, but has to take a few steps back and unfortunately falls down.
She wasn't that far away, was she?
No, she wasn't. She's a tall gymnast as well. When you have long levers, you rotate that a little bit more slowly, so you need to get more lift. And yes, as she opened out of the pike shape to spot the landing, it was just a fraction too soon. That was a shame.
Rosanna Oyala, she's the reigning Finnish champion on the uneven bars, and that's where she will finish her competition. That will be the last thing that we see from her. So she'll be looking forward to concluding on her favoured piece of apparatus. That's a look out from a slight distance at what is taking place so far, and it is Brazil on the balance beam. Thais Fidelis is currently competing. If you're eagle-eyed, you can just spot her there in the distance. Yeah,
it's a very nice acrobatic series there as well. She's working confidently so far. The free walkover and the split jump into the immediate backflip. See her in the distance in the pink leotards of Brazil. Now we turn our attention back to the uneven bars.
So the United States of America are competing on the uneven bars, having already made their way through the floor exercise and the vault with everything that was expected in terms of the difficulty, the style, the flair and real quality. Can it continue? They have a lead over the People's Republic of China. Warm-up just taking that little bit longer, as is customary for the uneven bars. And we'll have a first opportunity now to look at gymnasts who did not compete on the floor exercise and on the vault, but who is going to be competing on the bars and the balance beam. Her work on the balance beam yet to come, and that is what she's most well known for. But Cara Aker of the USA, the 16-year-old, now taking to the uneven bars.
Yes, well, lovely there in the pike catcher from the toe on. It's her first appearance here, but she's no stranger to the World Championships, competing in Doha last year. And swinging well so far. With the pirouette. And toe on, into the blind, into the pike Jaeger. Making the connections work. Kicking into the giant to create the momentum, lifting high into the double straight, and that was a super dismount. And Cara Aker.
Yeah, just threw her head back with relief and jubilation perhaps at the conclusion of that routine. A job nicely done from Cara Aker. She's really started to be regarded as more than a balance beam specialist, hasn't she, over the past little while? She
has, and it's quite a nice combination they've got there in terms of the partnership, haven't they? They've got Jade Carey, who's strong on floor and vault, and then she's been replaced by Cara Aker, who's so strong on bars and beams. So that's a good partnership to have and to make up the team total.
Yes, it's an interesting proposition, actually, looking at the overall dynamic of the team, and as you say, it's almost sort of a tag out, and one comes in and picks up where the other left off, just with different specialisms.
That's right. Interestingly, though, in Tokyo next year, it'll just be 4 in the team, so that's another whole dilemma for our national governing bodies to have to address. But at the moment, let's just concentrate on what's in front of us.
For these gymnasts, it's a long way off, but it's obviously going to be very much in their minds.
She can be pleased with that performance.
Cara Aker of the United States of America, part of that team that won the gold medal last year. And she also participated in the balance beam final, went on to win the balance beam at Lima 2019, and her score is a 14 on the uneven bars.
A good start for the United States on this apparatus.
We won't worry ourselves about the all-around score for Cara Aker. That's a bit of a red herring because she's only participating in just these two pieces, the bars and the balance beam. And so the bars continues with a gymnast who's shown herself over a couple of world championships to be somebody that you can absolutely count upon when there is pressure. She was rewarded after the 2018 Worlds with a German Shepherd given to her by her parents. Presumably they decided to purchase a dog that would relate to the next World Championships.
Quite interesting. Nice distraction, friendly companionship for when she's not in the gym. And keeping focused. she does have a real opportunity and a shot at the all-around competition. We've seen her perform 2 super routines so far. Can has continue on the uneven bars.
Watching on members of the German team, it's been a real joy to see the way that the public got behind them when they performed. Ellie Seitz, we just had a glimpse of, who scored that 14.8 on the uneven bars. She's really in contention.
She is. Well, she'll be watching eagerly because she's sitting in 3rd place at the moment and hopefully assured of a place in the uneven bars final, and she'll be looking at her potential opposition, I'm sure, quite closely.
Grace McCallum is the next gymnast from the United States of America to perform on the uneven bars.
Straight into a grip change, that forward circle, into the handstand. Stolder into the pike catcher. Toe on. Half turn to re-grasp. Up she goes to the pirouette. And the full twisting double tuck straight from the pirouette, linking the skills. That adds to the difficulty, and a great routine from Grace McCallum.
Oh, Grace McCallum, what a gymnast. Remember, just 16 years old. This gymnast from Cambridge in Minnesota. Turned 17 right at the end of this month.
And here we see her in action once more. There's the catch-up over the top of the bars. And she performs again from the Stolder into the pike catcher. That's the Downey. There's an F grade to it, named after Ellie Downey. And the toe on again. Half turn to re-grasp. And Maloney. Keeping focus, you can see her looking there at the bar. And this is a nice combination. Toe on pirouette immediately into the full twisting double tuck and nails the landing. Very good way to conclude her routine. Keeping the pressure on in terms of all-around competition.
Yes, so many factors in the equation, not just the team competition, which for the USA is going absolutely swimmingly so far, but as Lisa mentioned, the all-around as well. Only 2 of those gymnasts are going to make it through. Simone Biles, Vanessa Lee, Grace McCallum, and it is going to be a very close battle. That will help. 14.641 for the uneven bars, the 8th strongest score we've seen.
Yes, a super score from her and a big thumbs up. She's satisfied with that.
A chance to look at New Zealand competing on the floor. This is Courtney McGregor, the 20-year-old gymnast from Christchurch, who's returning to international competition, having competed at the 2017 World Championships. We haven't seen her for a while. It's great that she's back.
Yes, Rio Olympian. And double spin there in the split position. Heading across the diagonal, lifting into full twisting, double tuck somersault. Nice opener. One and a half twist, full twisting combination, just out of the area there. Back into the dance. An unusual change in the music, very contemporary. Sneaky little smile at the judges. Courtney McGregor takes a breath as she moves into the double pike somersault, cleanly through.
Performance of great flair and character from Courtney McGregor. It should never be a surprise when a gymnast who's training in the United States in the collegiate system, like McGregor, produces a routine of that sort of flair on the floor. She's reading a degree in health science at Boise State University in Idaho, competes for the Broncos there. Let's stick with the United States, but in a different form. The national team now. It will be Simone Biles to compete on the uneven bars for the United States of America, and she started with that superb performance on floor and the 15+ score on vault.
Well, she's going strongly on possibly her least favoured apparatus, if she has one. Again, building the connections. He does have a world medal on this apparatus as well. And a double-double to finish. Well, she's done it again, hasn't she? She's so consistent. We use all of the adjectives to describe her, but she does have to do it when it matters. You know, every day is a new day. And yes, we expect her to produce, but she has to come out and do it. And yet again, she did on the bars.
Yes, you mentioned that magic word of consistency. The first American gymnast to win a medal at every event at the same World Championships. Indeed, the first gymnast at all to do it since Elena Shushinova in 1987. That's what she did last year. And she approaches everything as though it is the start of something brand new.
Yes, another day at the office for her. And I think because she never is complacent, that's her talent. She never assumes she's going to do it. She just goes about her work, and she produces the goods time and time and time again. And not only does she just produce the goods, she produces some extraordinary goods. And here's an example of it. Double twisting, double back somersault, concentrating all the way through. And she looks at the coach and, yeah, high five. Well done.
As you look back at that dismount, one of the most telling things whenever you're watching an uneven bars routine is the clearance the gymnast gets above the line of the bar when they dismount. And there's never any doubt, is there, in a performance like that from Simone Biles?
No, she has to. In order to complete the two somersaults with the two twists, she has to get the lift, and that all comes from the trajectory.
14.733, sixth best score on the uneven bars, but she is handsomely in the lead in the all-around competition. USA also leading the way in the team competition. Lots of number ones, essentially. We'll extrapolate a little more data from that in a short while. Now, this is a reminder of what we saw from Courtney McGregor of New Zealand.
Yes, that was her opening tumble pass, the full twisting double back somersault, and she was into the leaps, waiting for the score to come through for this performance. And there we see her recovering and achieving a score of 11.7.
She will be competing later in the vault competition, and that's something that she's very much a specialist in. She was 13th at the Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro on the vault. Well, that has taken us to the next routine from the USA, which is going to be Sunisa Lee.
And she will have watched her teammates go before her. Laura Aker, Grace McCullum and Simone Biles, knowing that the USA have three good scores already in the bag. She will want to do this for herself and for her nation.
Competed at a competition in Italy at the start of the year where she won the uneven bars in a Jesolo, a very well-known competition.
So that Nabieva at the beginning there, toe on into the straight catcher. Very good work. One and a half pirouettes immediately into the pike Jaeger. This is where some of the gymnasts set themselves apart. And the full twisting, double back somersault. That was a superb routine again. Goodness me.
I don't really feel there's much left to say, is there, about the US on uneven bars, but we're just going to pop off and get a glass of water, actually, I think.
Well, are there any chinks in their armour, really? You know, they just keep producing the goods, don't they? We keep saying it, and yet again there, that's on the straight catch of that Nabieva. Really solid performance from her, excelling in the connections and the difficulty. The full twist impact salto up into the handstand. She has good line, she has good execution, she has the difficulty. And another challenger.
Oh,
and
bardage there.
Yeah,
goodness, beautiful.
Super work. Yes, it'll be very, very interesting to see who will be the two all-rounders that go through from the United States. And this is the build-up into the dismount. 2 somersaults with the full twist. And in control all the way through. There was never any question, was there? Again, just to remind ourselves, the first year at the World Championships as a senior debutant. And such confidence for one so young.
Likely to be matched by such scores for one so young. Now this is going to be interesting. We're going to have a really good indication. It's a 15 for Sunisa Lee, and that's a really important score in terms of her battle, I suppose, if you like, with Grace McCallum. She's very, very much ahead of that at the moment. She's actually in second place, just behind Simone Biles. She's within a mark.
Well, the difficulty was 6.4. And meanwhile, we move on to the beam.
Flavia Saraiva of Brazil to take to the balance beam. Gymnast who started with a 14.566 on the vault.
Yes, the back flip on and a round off straight somersault. Super work from Saraiva. Beautiful to watch. Probably she excels the most on the floor, but going very well so far on beam. A good all-rounder. Came to the forefront as a superstar in Rio de Janeiro Olympic Games. And the back flip 2 layouts. Goodness gracious. She's going for it. Oh, beautiful. The split change to ring, the head right back, meeting the foot with an extended toe. That's the first slight waver, just an arm readjustment on the free walkover. Perhaps she would have gone for the connection with the leap. And the side somersault. She's packing a lot into her minute and a half. With flexibility, leg extension, composes herself. She moves into the dismount, round off, double pike, and that was a super routine from Saraiva.
Brazilian national champion on the balance beam, and she also won a Youth Olympic Games silver medal in 2014. It's a performance, isn't it, Lisa, of just such tremendous assurance with every acrobatic sequence, every spin. You just feel that she knows entirely what her line is. She
did. She looked ever so confident. Exquisite performance from her. She didn't really put her foot wrong. And the score, 13.4. Super job. So a total of 40.799 in terms of the all-around competition.
Well, that gives us the opportunity just to have a slight pause and to think about all of these numbers and what it equates to. The team competition, the United States of America are out in the lead. In the all-around, it is Biles and Lee. That's why the US are out in the lead in the team competition. Grace McCallum is around and in the mix, though. We can't rule her out of getting that third spot. That's going to be interesting to watch as things go on. Flavia Saraiva, who we just saw, is down in 16th position. Brazil are going to finish on the floor, though, so Saraiva will favour that as a conclusion to her competition. It's Alice Kinsella who's in 24th position, the British gymnast and reigning European champion on the balance beam.
Yeah, so interesting, 0.8 between Sunisa Lee and Grace McCallum, and if you think, you know, a fall is a whole mark, neither of them can afford to make any errors on the beam in terms of their individual aspirations. The main focus, of course, at the moment is undoubtedly the team, but with the United States, all of them are real medal prospects, really, aren't they?
So, to the aforementioned team competition, the United States of America, first place, 132.539. Take off 2.5 marks, you have the People's Republic of China. Take about 3 marks away from them, and you have France. Take away just over a couple of marks from them, you have Italy, and then it's the Russian Federation in 5th position. The Russian Federation had a very strong finish, though, to their team qualification competition. So the team down in 8th position is Netherlands. Canada are in 9th place. But we will understand the full shape of things after one more rotation. It's going to be Brazil finishing on the floor.
It will be, yes, the final rotation of 48. Ollie, we've had 12 different subdivisions, and this is the last opportunity for our female competitors to perform in qualification. After this, it'll all be down to the finals. So lots to play for, and an exciting climax to the event.
And lots of gymnastics still to come as well. We've got 2 days of men's qualification coming up after this. Hope you're enjoying all of the action. Ollie Hogben here and Dr. Lisa Gannon bringing you all of the coverage from the World Championships here in Stuttgart. And thank you so much for investing your time in this intriguing couple of days of qualification. It has been absolutely engrossing. It will be the ever reliable Grace McCallum to start on the balance beam, and she has the chance to get her routine done first and then see what her teammate can produce. They'll all be wanting the highest possible scores for the team, but also they'll be wanting to be in those top 2. It is Grace McCallum of the USA who heads to the balance beam.
Yes, she starts with that backflip onto the beam. Nicely performed. Beautiful triple rotation, and again the double, showing she's in control of both. Oh, dearie me, wow. She went for the aerial cartwheel in 2 layouts, and to be honest, as she came out of the aerial cartwheel, one of her feet wasn't quite straight, and I was surprised she went for it, but the experience allowed her to complete the series, but it was a fall in the end, which was a shame. Just back up. Every body position in the pose there. And into the double pike dismount, a relatively short routine. It's over quickly, the difficulty packed in together, but perhaps all-around hopes are dashed there with that fall. A shame, because a very promising gymnast. Hopefully we'll get the chance to have a look at that combination again. This was beautiful though, look at that, extension right through the toe. She was always in control there. And this was the aerial cartwheel. Look at that, that second foot wasn't quite straight, and she had to push off it. The way that she made the series alone was quite astonishing, but she was never quite straight, and unfortunately incurring that whole mark deduction. Finishing off beautifully though with the double pike somersault.
She is, as a gymnast, such a pivotal member of the team, and as you say, in terms of the all-around competition, it's not over yet, but it might be a little bit more tricky as a result of that. But the work that Grace McCallum has put into that team, most valuable. Thais Fidelis of Brazil now competing on the floor, the reigning Brazilian all-around champion.
And a half twisting walk out, up into double Arabian. Oh, wow, she went for the difficulty there. Incredibly difficult tumble pass, but just under rotating on those somersaults at the end. The half turned into 2 front somersaults, the Arabian. And that was better. That was a lot better, the full twisting double tuck. An increase in the tempo of the music. And she makes her way across the floor area with the leaps. builds to the final tumble pass. Oh, well, that was the end of her routine and her qualification event. What a shame on that first tumble pass, going for the difficulty, but recovered really well, and some beautiful work across the rest of the routine.
Thais Fidelis was just 8 years of age when she saw a wonderful gymnast called Diane dos Santos competing in the Beijing Olympics. Dos Santos, a world floor champion back in 2003, and you just know, don't you, that what goes around comes around. There are people sitting at home in Brazil watching Thais Fidelis performing and thinking, now I want to do what she can do.
Yes, this is the second tumble pass, just a step forward from the full twisting double tuck.
Now, this is Grace McCallum's score on the balance beam, 12.933, and she's in third place in the all-around competition at the moment. We will see what happens right now, because right after each other, one after t'other, Sunisa Lee, two gymnasts going head-to-head for a place in the all-around final. It is advantage in some way, Sunisa Lee, but she now has to deliver her own finest work.
On the same start, she nearly lost a little bit of a waver backwards, but she pulled it back right there from the box splits on the mount. They have such ability to rectify any issues almost as they're taking off in the middle of a spin. That comes from experience and hours of training. Oh my goodness! Well, I
okay.
never. So
the story has not yet written itself.
Gosh, two flicks in the straight back somersault and another hallmark deduction.
Well, let us just take a moment to remember that we're looking at around about a 0.8 advantage for Lee coming into this performance.
Yes.
They've both lost a full mark for the unintentional dismount.
And pulls herself back with that lovely series, but you know, we have seen the very best gymnasts fall victim to this apparatus, and never underestimate the beam. And the double tuck to finish. A nice dismount from Sunisa Lee. The United States are fortunate that they do have this big cushion. They have such strength in depth, because for many teams, 2 falls may have put them out of contention. I don't think that will be the case for them.
Absolutely. The buffer zone is quite significant, and Sunisa Lee is going to use some of her own personal buffer zone here that she had over Grace McCallum in terms of the all-around qualification. But what she did do, Lisa, is get it back together fast and effectively.
She did. Look at that, linking those layouts in combination and not a waver. No, the confidence wasn't rocked even after the fall. She got back to the job and completed it exceptionally well. There's the double tuck to finish. And yes, it's almost a shame for Grace McCallum that she's in such a strong team, isn't it? Now then, this should be entertaining.
Back we go to the floor. And if you have not had the opportunity at any point in your time watching gymnastics to watch Flavia Saraiva, get ready, because you're in for a treat. This is something. A Youth Olympic Games floor champion from some time ago.
Yes. Have a look at this. The whip into the double straight. Little ball of energy. Look at that. Super leaps. Full twisting double tuck. Extension right the way through the toes and showing that split position. Oh, beautiful in a leap, high up on the toe, showing the splits. exceptional floor worker. She has the crowd clapping along with her. They're urging along. Here's the last tumble pass. Double pike. Flavia Sarajeva at her best.
Oh, that wonderful moment in the routine. The music takes you from the black and white era of film into a stroll through Montmartre past the Folies Bergère along the left bank of the Seine. It just takes you on such a fascinating musical journey, and she leads you through that with the caveat of some great tumbling as well. It's not all artistry, is it?
No,
there's great gymnastics
she has
here.
it both. That was the whip back somersault, the backflip without the hands into the double straight, the super first tumble pass. And here, the full twisting double tuck. But it's not to just list the skills. As you say, she had charisma, she had the artistry. I think you were even doing the can-can there, Ollie.
I can't. 13.4 the score for Sunisa Lee, leading the way in the all-around competition so far, and most significantly having the advantage over Grace McCallum. Now, just when you thought you'd seen it all, here goes Cara Aker on the balance beam. Now, she's been producing some extraordinary work recently, has a mount that has posed some problems from time to time. If she gets through that, then generally speaking, she gets through everything, and she can score huge here. No problems this time.
A split change onto the beam. Yes, she placed second at the World Championships in qualification on this apparatus. Little readjustment there of the shoulders, but unfortunately fell in the final. So she'll be wanting to put things right here on her favoured apparatus. Everybody holding their breath. Lovely combination. Aerial cartwheel, 2 layouts. Leap into the side somersault. Composed so far. Corbett flick. Sit on the beam. Fluency of movement, linking the dance elements and the acrobatics. Just an arm waver there, nothing too serious. And the whistle goes. Just 10 seconds to get off. Round off, back flip, 2.5 twists, and Cara Aker, well, she really performed under pressure there. Super job.
The Pan-American Games champion on the balance beam, that is why, because that is the kind of work that you get from Cara Aker, and a moment there of, I think, immense relief for her, because she comes into performing a balance beam routine with everybody expecting the world, really. The stakes are very high, aren't they?
They certainly are. She really attacked that beam, and as we saw at the last World Championships, you know, she has such potential, but she fell in the final at the last Worlds, and she'll be wanting to get a medal on this apparatus, I am absolutely sure. But this is the first step towards doing so. We don't know what the score will be. We don't know yet whether she's in the top 8, but she's given herself the best opportunity to have a go.
Now we're going over to the floor, and just a moment of confirmation. 13.833 was the score for Flavia Sarajeva, which has her in 7th position for the floor final. It's only her teammates that can trouble her with that, and it's Leticia Costa next.
Yes. Let's see what Leticia Costa has to offer. Well, that was a very nice double Arabian in the pike position. Unusual to see. Often we see it in the tuck. Slightly more difficult in the pike. Very dramatic music. Nice double pike back somersault. She looks down the diagonal, focuses on the last tumble run. Doesn't want to make any errors, and she doesn't. Completes her qualification competition successfully through dramatic music, some dramatic choreography to match.
Well, we are working our way through to the final stages of this team competition. Brazil in 13th position coming in to this rotation. So let us see just what the impact of this series of performances on the floor exercise is going to be. It is going to be very, very tight indeed. There are going to be some fabulous teams that miss out on this incredibly condensed and compact team final.
And it is, and what we can say is that Leticia Costa is the final competitor on the floor for Brazil, so Flavia Saraiva has earned herself a spot in the floor final, so we will have the opportunity to see that routine again, which will be great.
We certainly aren't we going to have the opportunity to see this routine again. Cara Aker on the balance beam. 13.866 for her, and that has her in 4th position in the balance beam qualification process. So what that means for the balance beam, as we just see confirmation that Flavia Saraiva is going to be in the floor final. It's Li Shijia and Liu Ting Ting who are leading the way in balance beam qualification.
What a way to finish, though, this qualification competition. There's only one gymnast.
Better be Simone Biles then on the balance beam final performance.
It seems apt that the all-around world champion finishes qualification and begins the beam very confidently. Now, will she do her very own skill at the end? She has the rest of the beam to contend with first, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. Right flip, layout, layout. Oh, very nice. Linking the skills together. Jumps and the somersaults. So far, so good. She prepares herself. Everybody's winning on backflip, backflip. Double, double, there it is. That's the Biles. That's what they've been waiting for. Goodness gracious me. 2 new skills in one competition.
That was the Biles before it was the Biles. Only one thing to say, that is Biles.
Look at that. Nobody does it like Simone Biles. What a dismount, what a routine, what a gymnast.
Well, we can just go back and enjoy this again and again, and I hope you will join us with mouths agape to watch what has been accomplished in this qualification process. We'll focus, unsurprisingly, Lisa, on the dismount, but the rest of the routine was a treat as well.
It certainly was. Not to take away from any of the rest of the routine. Just look at this combination. So confident, consummate performer on the apparatus. 2 layout somersaults in combination. This, the build to the backflips, lifts up, 2 somersaults, 2 rotations. I don't know if you're dizzy watching that, but how she manages to nail it is quite incredible. She is an astonishing performer. And whatever the score is, she has certainly led from the front in this competition all the way through, and she will be the leader from qualification by quite a margin.
Yes, it is likely indeed to be Biles by miles as we go into the final itself, where the scores are discarded, but it's 12.633. Leticia Costa finishing her campaign off with a score just below the 50 mark. Now, we're going to be in a position to try to give you some clarity on the numbers. Brazil, it looks as though, have missed out on the team final, down in 14th position, and we'll just confirm that in a moment. That would be of real sadness for Brazil, having performed so well and been in genuine genuine medal contention going into the final rotation last time around, eventually finishing 7th, but now missing out. Just goes to show what kind of a team competition this is. There's no doubt about the nation and indeed the gymnast that will be topping the team and the individual all-around standings. We're looking at them.
Just this one score to come through. And the family and friends looking on, supporting all the way.
So Simone Biles waits for this last score to come in. Just wondering if we're hearing there that an inquiry, I think, has been submitted by Cara Aker. Come back to that. 14.8, 59.432 for Simone Biles, leading the way quite convincingly in the all-around. Sunisa Lee is in 2nd place. Melanie de Jesus dos Santos, 3rd position. More on that in a moment. We did seem to get a word there through the stadium announcer that Cara Aker has submitted an inquiry, or the coach has submitted an inquiry.
That is showing on the big scoreboard, so nothing confirmed yet, although Simone Biles has a higher score on beam as well as all round. So Cara Aker will be wanting to ensure that all of her difficulty is assessed correctly. That's the only thing that you can inquire about.
It allows us now the chance to look at a vault specialist in Courtney McGregor of New Zealand, who competed at the Olympic Games and wasn't far away from making the vault final.
And 1.5 twist in Yurchenko from her. Very nice vault from Courtney McGregor. Let's take another look at it. Round off onto the board, backflip. 1.5 rotations in the straight position and nicely controlled for a difficult vault.
Now, the sort of numbers required, it's 13.533 for the second vault, 13.733 for McGregor, 17th position. I was about to say the numbers required, 14.599. Will
so no
continue.
Vault final, no, but a good performance from her all the same. She'd be very proud of this.
First chance was to see Maya Fishwick of New Zealand, the 17-year-old from Auckland at St Cuthbert's College.
And the full twist in Yurchenko from her, slightly more simple but well performed. Nice style in the air, confident performance, straight legs, feet locked together, nice flight and landing centrally in the mat. She'll achieve a good score for that, I'm sure.
Another gymnast going for qualification in the vault competition. I thought she was. It's a 13.6 for her anyway.
Just a 9 execution score, so she only lost 0.8 altogether there with the, I was going to say mark, should I say? Sorry.
It's been a long couple of days, hasn't it?
Yes.
But we are doing our very best indeed to make sense of all of these numbers. We're going to hopefully have some graphics in just a moment to give you real perspicacity on all of that. But it has just been the most fabulous couple of days of gymnastics action. And when we see these team numbers in a moment, it really is going to bring home just how tight things are. Now, we won't have any confirmed numbers until the Cara Aker balance beam inquiry has been completed. So that gives us time to reflect upon what we're going to be looking for in these next numbers, which is those that have made it into the all-around competition. She will be leading the way in that. Those that have made it into the team competition and the apparatus qualification. We're going to try and run through all of that. Part of that is going to be the Olympic qualification. That might be a little tough for us to work out immediately, but that was quite easy for the judges to work out there.
Yes, let's just take a moment to recap on what has been history being made on floor. The triple twisting double somersault, no other woman does it. They have to perform it in a competition that's recognised by the International Gymnastics Federation, and she did it admirably, didn't she? With a smile on her face. And made history on floor and beam here today with those 2 new skills. Yeah, so we're looking in terms of the team competition, the top 8 for World Championships, the top 12 for Tokyo qualification. We know 3 teams have already qualified. That was the United States of America, the Russian Federation and the People's Republic of China, who qualified last year at Doha.
Well, we're still waiting for the Kara Aker inquiry to be completed, but just for clarification, the things that we know absolutely for certain, the team qualifiers for the final, the team final, United States of America, China, Russian Federation, France, Canada, Netherlands, Great Britain and Italy.